Don't know if you can hear me. These earphones aren't always a great sound, so I took them out now. But yeah, thought I'd go live, see if anyone joins. I don't do these YouTube lives very often, but I'm currently sat in a Starbucks. I know, tell me about it. Commercial crap. But this coffee is actually alright. It's one of those pumpkin spice jobs. Takes me back to England. Am I muted now? Can you hear me? That's weird. Maybe that's why nobody's been commenting. You can hear me now, yeah? No, I was just saying, yeah, thank you. And yeah, we both got a cool name. I'm Metal Matt because I'm a musician and I make metal. And Rob Halford, the Judas Priest, gave me the name, so I use that as my musician name because I can say he gave it to me, which is cool. And I'm a big fan of Judas Priest, you know. But yeah, but anyone can be a Metal Matt, but not the musician, because that's me. But you can do something else with it. You can be an artist or a painter and decorator called Metal Matt. That's something different. Cool. Are you a subscriber, or how did you find this video? I don't know if these live streams just go out to random people, or if it's people who subscribe to me. But yeah, I was telling everyone I'm in Cancun, where I live, in Mexico, but I'm from England, obviously. I've only been living here the past couple of years, on and off, like 3 years or something, but kind of I go back sometimes, but now I'm here more permanently. Thomas, hey Matt, in your opinion, name the top 3 voices for 80s metal. Good question. Well, Rob Halford's always going to be number 1, just because I love his voice, you know. I think he's got the best range and just the best voice. There's never a voice that did it for me like Rob's, where it's just like, wow, it's got everything. There's nothing not to like, you know. I've heard people who don't like Priest say, oh, I can't stand Rob's voice and stuff like that. It's like, to me, it's just crazy. Like, there's nothing not to like. And the notes, you know. But yeah, top 3 80s metal. Yeah, so definitely Rob at number 1. Number 2. And yeah, cheers, Matt. Yeah, Cancun's nice. I'm just in a Starbucks. I don't support these horrible corporations. I hate Starbucks, but there's not that much to do in Cancun. It's very kind of, it's beach, shopping mall, or in my case I look for animals a lot, but you can't always do that because you can't go wandering off in the jungle where there's jaguars and crocodiles everywhere. So I don't get to do that as much as I'd like, but yeah, there isn't that much to do, so I end up in a Starbucks. Anyway, I will get to all your comments. Yeah, so I'm going to answer this top 3 voices of metal. So number 1, Rob. This is difficult, actually. God, that is a difficult question. Top voices. Yeah, let me keep thinking. Do you like Maiden? Not that much, but I like the Paul Di'Anno stuff. He might be one of my top voices, although he's more punky. For a proper heavy metal singer, if I had to say, you know, listen to this singer, I mean, Bruce Dickinson doesn't do it for me, really. I know he does for most people, but I don't like that sort of overly operatic, dramatic thing. It doesn't really do it for me. Paul Di'Anno I liked because he's kind of cool, rock and roll. Yeah, best voices. Alice Cooper, I love his voice. I'll put him at number 2, even though he's kind of not strictly heavy metal, but he's done some great heavy metal stuff. And I think he is just one of the ultimate voices because it's unique. He's got that deep kind of voice, but he's also he's got so much character in his voice, you know. But a completely different voice to Rob Halford, obviously. Marilyn Manson's got a damn good voice, but he's not 80s. And I guess I don't know if he's one of the best. You know, it'd be all the ones. King Diamond, you know. I think he's got a great, unique voice. I've seen everything. Judas Priest, yeah. Chester Bennington, which I don't believe is actually you. Well, I'm pretty damn sure it's not. But yeah, but good name. Have you seen Free Will Burning? Yeah, I've seen everything. Judas Priest. Yeah, it's good, that Dorman thing. Yeah, he did. Did he do Riding on the Wind on that one as well? It's like a TV show thing, wasn't it? Like, yeah, German TV thing. think yeah, Rob's voice, I think on that show, I don't know if it's the recordings or what, but his voice sounds kind of like weird on those performances. I think Free Will Burning was really good, but it's maybe Riding on the Wind. I don't know if he was off key or what, but with Rob, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, his voice kind of sounds weird on that. The best performance is like Vengeance 82. I think that's where Rob was at his peak. He sounded amazing. Pretty coked up, I think, but it worked. That's what it all was back in those days. But yeah, he did an amazing. To me, Devil's Child '82 is the best. But the whole concert, that live Vengeance in Memphis, Tennessee. But yeah, Free Will Burning. That's a good version of it actually. That Dorman thing. But I think Riding on the Wind, if it was that one, yeah, he sounds a bit sort of off key, but it still sounds great. It don't really bother me, but I think he was having a bit of a rough day with his voice, but he still manages to do a great performance, you know. Um, it's weird to ever hear Rob's voice kind of fail. Not that it failed, but you know, I could see there's a bit of something going on there, you know. Um, but yeah, that was Defenders of the Faith era. It's great era for Priest. Yeah, I love that, Defenders of the Faith. One of my favourite albums. Center now is my favourite song. Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders of the Faith, and probably Nostradamus, my top 3 Priest albums. Unique choice, I think, with Nostradamus, but that's one of the albums that got me into Priest, because I knew of Priest and I'd heard bits and pieces, and then when I got Nostradamus, I got really hooked on it, you know. Just not like a similar story to most Priest fans, I don't think. Most Priest fans hated Nostradamus because it wasn't what they were expecting, but it's brilliant. It's a great album. And I think it's funny how people can choose their choices of not liking something, because like someone who was born in the 80s or 70s wouldn't like Nostradamus maybe because it's not, they've waited for every Judas Priest album, but someone who's a bit younger like me, I'm 27, when you get into a band, if you get into them sort of in your teenage years, you don't listen to it in any particular order, you know, you don't have to, so you get to like whatever it is. And Nostradamus, I loved it the second I got it. It's the first album I heard, I think, along with Screaming for Vengeance, because I wanted something for Christmas. So I said to my mum, get me some Priest CDs, because I've never gave them a proper listen. I've heard Breaking the Law, Johnny Be Good, and I like those, you know. So I'm burping a lot. I've had this coffee's fucked me up. But anyway, but yeah, it was a great album, and I think if you listen to it kind of unexpectedly, you know, in an unexpected order, it's okay. But I think fans of yesterday, or the older fans, because they grew up waiting for each album, it's a different kind of perceiving thing. You know, you perceive the albums differently when you've waited for each one to be released. But when you're a teenager and you're, you know, younger, and you get into like a band, it's weird to hear all those songs, you know. You know, to get you can just like it, whatever, you know. Is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so yeah, Rob Halford Cooper, another really good voice for metal. So I'm getting a lot of different voices come to my head, like Bon Scott, but he's not metal, more rock, and yeah, maybe King Diamond, but he's not for everyone. He definitely isn't for everyone, but for unique voices, I think King. For me, I love high voices. King Diamond, Rob Halford, Alice, you know, they're my main things growing up, so yeah. I'm not too mad on Sebastian Bach. I'm not too big on certain singers who sing high, you know, it's got to be the right kind of voice, but Rob has definitely got it. Why I asked you about the Free Will Burning, I always wonder how easily he's singing with Victory. With victory. I know the bit, yeah. And his face in that moment. Yeah, I know, he looks very intense now. Yeah. With victory on high. Something like that. I can't do it here. But yeah, it's a weird thing. I think Rob, he's so tuned into that high voice. It's the mad thing with Rob is how he makes it sound so natural, you know. It's he makes it kind of fly out of him, and you might have seen I've done videos of how to sing like Rob Halford and stuff, because I've studied him really, not sat down and studied him, but it's just my personality. As a singer, I study how people sing. I take it all in, and yeah, I think with Rob, people don't know what he's doing a lot of the time. With most singers, you can sort of tell what they're doing, and I've kind of figured out what he's doing, but he's something about his voice. He can kind of sing high without it sounding like a falsetto or anything like that, you know. I think it's some mixed voice thing he's doing, but yeah, he's got the power of making his voice sound like it's all one, whereas, you know, it's basically, I think, kind of what Axl Rose is doing, but you can kind of hear that Axl Rose is doing something to his voice, do you know what I mean? Like, with Rob, it doesn't seem like he's doing something with his voice, it's just it comes out of him. But like, like Axl Rose's screeching thing, Axl puts more screech on it, kind of like Rob with Painkiller, you know? But then Rob's got sort of a natural grit when he hits high notes, and it flies out of him, you know. It's good how he manages to make it look effortless. I think that's what's quite impressive with Rob. And I don't know how he did it. Maybe it was all the substances in the 80s flying around it made him superhuman or something. But then he's still got it now, and he's clean and sober these days. So. But you can kind of hear what he's doing this day and age. Back in the day, you kind of didn't know what he was doing. Now you can hear he kind of cheats his way around the high notes almost. If he can't hit the notes like he used to, he finds different ways to do it, and he's really smart with how he chooses to sing. You know, he can make it sound as good as it always sounded without hitting certain high notes, and yeah, it's clever. He's clever how he's sort of worked his voice out, you know. Yeah, Dio. I do Dio. Good choice. Yeah, Dio. Yeah, Rob, Alice Cooper and Dio, I think. Alice gets credit just for being unique, really. It's not necessarily an impressive voice. I think it's everything with Alice. You know, the stage show and everything, and the personality and the lyrics. So I'm wondering whether Alice deserves to be in the top 3 or not. He's certainly one of my favourites, but not just for the voice. But I love his voice. He has got a great voice. There's no doubt about it, you know. But a different kind of voice. So yeah, it's a tough one, though. Any other questions? I've got a bit of time. My coffee's running out, but I've got a bit left, so I'll be here for a minute. I'll be here for a hot minute to answer some questions. Yeah, but yeah, Rob's great. He's got a good voice on him. It was a weird few years with KK leaving and everything. It's sad that Priest had to sort of end on a low, you know. But it is what it is, you know. It's a shame about KK and everything, you know. That kind of let me down, disappointed me as a fan a bit, that you know, the way KK was treated and different things. I don't think it was fair. But they still sang great. Priest, I saw that thing they were doing at the Hellfest. There's this new performance. I don't know if you've seen that, guys. Really good. I think Andy Sneap mixed it and stuff. And Rob just sounds great, you know. And Richie's a great guitar player. But it is different. It's undeniably different. I think, again, though, fans who get into Priest now, like there'd be teenagers getting into Priest now, you know, the fun thing about that is you don't necessarily have to care about the members or whatever. You just accept it for what it is now. And I think I've heard Richie say in interviews, you know, he likes to be able to make good music for the fans now, becoming fans, and I get that, but it is different, I think Richie has totally changed the sound of Judas Priest, which is interesting. It works. It still sounds good. But it is different, and he dominates the sound. Really, Richie is very Richie. Which there's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. If they don't want KK in the band and they got another guitarist, then there's nothing else to do. But it's good. I've always impressed with how Richie adds extra melodies and stuff. He's a different kind of player. I think Iron Maiden or something would have been his perfect gig, but obviously Priest, he's gonna take it with Priest. He ain't gonna say no to Priest. I do wonder though if he was offered Maiden or something, if he'd switch over to them, instead of Priest. But yeah, any more questions, guys? I'm liking the questions today. Usually it's nothing interesting on these things. That's why I never go live. People don't say anything, or it's just random people. But it seems like there's a few people with the right mindset to the heavy metal people. So that's good. Yeah, I'm killing time to get home, cook a Thai curry. I bought some Thai curry paste. The thing with living in Mexico is England is so much easier to buy things, like buying ingredients and stuff. And like if you want to make a curry, you want to do this, you can't do that in Mexico. It's not like that. There isn't a shelf with curry pastes and things. It's all kind of just for Mexico if you want to make mole chicken or whatever, But because I'm in the tourist bit now by the beach, there's a supermarket, pricey, but they sell a few interesting things like British chocolate and stuff, but it's like £10 for a slab of chocolate. It's mental. But also some nice Thai cooking stuff and that. So I bought a red Thai curry paste, which I'm going to get home and cook a curry tonight. First curry I've cooked while I've been here. In fact, I've never cooked a curry actually. I love curry, but I don't usually make it myself, but I will this time. I like cooking, so yeah. But anyway, Sex Pistols, yeah. If you call them the Sex Pistols, I don't know what I think about it with this other singer. John Lydon's not happy that he hasn't been called up to do it, And to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think they said he's got energy and all this stuff, and this singer's got energy and stuff, but it is just karaoke, and it really is. I don't know, it's not, But then the Sex Pistols were never that good, They're okay, I've met Johnny Rotten. I like Public Image Limited. I think he's a lot more creative with that. Sex Pistols got some good songs. Pretty Vacant. I like that one. And what else do I like? God Save the Queen. Commercial one. There are a few others I can't think. I don't listen to them much, but Preto Levate. Where's that? Is that I don't think that's down Cancun way, is it? That's probably Preto Levate. Yeah, it might be different part of Mexico. It's a big place, Mexico. I'm trying to think of the exact area I'm thinking of, but I can't think. But yeah, I went to Oaxaca a while back. That's a totally different place to Cancun. Puerto Escondido, and that was really nice. I've been to Mexico City, Puebla, Oaxaca, and all along the Yucatan Peninsula. It's kind of, which is this direction. I love Yucatan, Valladolid. It's really nice. There's some lovely places around. Cancun's a bit boring, to be fair. It's nice, it's beautiful, but living here is a different thing. It's very aimed at tourists because it's all new. Cancun, it's like been here like 50 years or something. It's not. There's no history to Cancun. It was all jungle and it was ploughed to make this. This was all jungle. Jaguars wandering around, and now it's hotels and beaches and tourists. So it's not real Mexico, but the downtown is where I live. It's locals doing what they do. Tamales, selling tamales and empanadas and stuff. It's nice. I like it. I love living here. I don't come down to this tourist bit much because it does my head in. The buses are really busy. You got to be packed in there like sardines, and they just keep letting people on. When you think it's full, and people are like that, holding on, um, the fucking driver lets on more people. He opens the door, and I'm like looking. You think, fuck me, how many is he letting on now? 5 more people. They literally pack them on. And I hate it 'cause it's like I don't speak great Spanish. I can say bajan or whatever, it's just like stop the bus. But if you're crammed in like that, it's like, how do you get off? I'm like, I hate that. So I don't tend to do it. I just stay in the downtown and, sing at some bars now and again and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't enjoy the buses. There's a bus going by now, and I'll see if it's packed or not. Yeah, packed. But they can be worse than that. I only been in Texas over the border once. Really? Yeah, it's worth coming down to Mexico. It's not as bad as people make out. It's pretty good. Pretty good for the most part. There are things that happen, but such is everywhere. But yeah, I've never been to the United States really. I mean, I'm in South America right now, so I don't know if that counts, but probably not. But yeah, I've never been anywhere really, only Ireland and then Mexico, and that was it. And then I ended up living there, so I always wanted to get to the tropics. I always thought it'd be great to live somewhere like this, and now I am. So it's nice. I don't have much money, but it's like I'd rather be poor here, with the palm trees, than in England, or have maybe a bit more money in England. But you're in England, boring. So yeah, I think you don't really need money when you've got beautiful beaches and everything's here. You can get here for 12 pesos, which is like nothing, you know, on a bus, if you can put up with the packed buses. So yeah, the good things are free, like the beaches and stuff. Right, who's this? Magic Chef Nate. Did I pronounce that right? Hello. So, what is your favorite heavy metal album? Good question. What is my favorite? I go towards Defenders of the Faith by Judas Priest, I think. Or Dragontown or Brutal Planet by Alice Cooper, because they are heavy metal albums, without a doubt. But then I could also say Raise Your Fist in the Air by Alice Cooper, that's great. Very heavy metal playing by Kane Roberts. But yeah, Defenders of the Faith is, I think, the definitive heavy metal album. I think it's got everything. I probably prefer Screaming for Vengeance as an album, but I wouldn't say it's that heavy, really. It is when it's played live, but like, what have you got on Screaming for Vengeance? You've got like Fever, Take These Chains, Electric Eye. Electric Eye is kind of heavy, but it's not that heavy stuff, is it? But it's amazing songs, and it doesn't really matter. That's what I love with Judas Priest. It's heavy enough, and it's just good music. Yeah, best things are free. Exactly. You learn that. It's fucking. Most people go to the mall all the time here, same as in England, and I got no interest spending money in shopping malls. I hate that stuff. I'd rather go looking for snakes and iguanas. They got loads of iguanas here. That makes me happy, seeing that, photographing some iguanas, feeding them something and stuff like that. That's a lot more interesting. But you love Feed My Frankenstein, yeah. Feed my Frankenstein. Hungry for love and it's feeding time. Well, I am evil, I'm just good looking. Start a little fire, baby, start cooking. I'm a hungry man, but I don't like pizza. I'll burn down your house and then I'm gonna eat you. I remember the version with what's that guy? Rob Zombie on the Fistful of Alice album, which was a live album by Alice in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. So yeah, that was a good album, that one. They did Feed My Frankenstein. Uh, they did all the classics, I think. And yeah, Rob Zombie was on it. It was good, actually. It's the only time I'd heard Rob Zombie, because I was a kid when I had that album. It was my dad's album, I think. He used to have all the Alice Cooper stuff. But it was a good album. Um, yeah, Ryan Roxy played on that. I interviewed him a while back, and we were talking about that album. Check out the interview me with Ryan Roxy. It was quite a good chat, I think. Yeah. And I was quite excited to interview him, because I thought he'd played on my favourite Alice albums, Brutal Planet and Dragon Town, which I think he did. But then when it comes to talking about it, he seemed to not be as involved as I thought he was. And he was saying, "Oh, people always give me credit for the guitar thing on Brutal Planet, where it goes like wow 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 wow." You might know it. It's a really good guitar thing, but apparently it's some other guy. What's he called? He's got like a short name, like Steve X or something like that. But he was one of these. Alice has a lot of members that he doesn't credit, like session musician type things. And yeah, a lot of the musicians come in, record some stuff, and they're never mentioned, and I think he was the genius behind it. This guitarist, he came up with a lot of the cool stuff on that album. And yeah, as much as I liked those albums, and I was very happy to be interviewing Ryan Roxy for that reason, because I love those albums. From what I gathered, I don't think he was that involved, but he might have been. I don't know, but he didn't have as much to say about that as he did the Fistful of Alice album even. But he's a great player. He plays with Alice now, and he played on the tour, the Brutal Planet tour, Brutally Live. That was pretty good. Yeah, he is a good player. But yeah, I'm trying to think what that guy's called, but he's a good guitar player. He did a video on YouTube talking about what he did on those Alice Cooper albums, so you might be able to find it if you put, I don't know, I don't fucking know what you'd have to search, but just search Brutal Planet, guitarist talks about the album or something, I don't know. But he did a whole video saying what he did on that album, which nobody realised till now. A few years ago, I think he did a video sort of telling people what he did. But yeah, cool. Any other questions? I'm gonna get and make my Thai curry soon. I'm itching. I never know why I got allergies here. It's Mexico for there's always something biting you or something. Ants usually. You got these little black ants. Like in England, we get black ants, red ants, but here you get massive ants and these really tiny black ones. And guess which ones bite like hell? It's the little tiny ones, which you wouldn't think. You'd think it'd be the big ones with a nasty bite, but I don't think I've ever been bitten by them. I remember once I was walking around in the jungle like I do, looking for animals and stuff, and I put my foot down and loads of ants biting my foot. It was like, ah. And they all bite in synchronicity. That's the thing with ants. They do it in synchronicity. It's really weird. I guess they've evolved to do that, to sort of any what do you call it? The word has escaped me. Any like threat. If they put their foot down, they sting at the same time, and then it's worse. You get the thing. But I think they eat ants in Mexico as well, or they eat the larvae in the villages in Mexico, like out the way. I'd try it. It'd be interesting. I bet crickets here. I definitely don't want to get into the New World Order where we're all eating insects. I don't think there's much health benefit to it, but it is a cultural thing in Mexico. They have crickets and mixed up with chili and stuff. It can be quite tasty. I've had some really nice crickets with mezcal, and yeah, the salt, the chili salt, and a slice of like grapefruit and orange and stuff. You sort of do it all in together, and it's really nice. All the flavors complement each other. But yeah, anyway, good talking with you all. So Matt, Magic Chef, um, Chester Bennington, apparently. Um, Seeing you said about Metallica as well. No, I don't like Metallica. Thomas, hello. Yeah, just checking all the names on it. Yeah, I'm not into Metallica. I think they're a bit of the cliche heavy metal band. I just don't get it. I've never been impressed, I've never kind of, the voice I think is just very sort of rock voice. To me, to me it could be any sort of rock, Nickelback or something, just like it's that rock voice, which is fine, but it's not nothing special for me. I like an acrobatic voice, and I think Metallica are a guitar band. People love the riffs and stuff like that. I don't really care about that stuff. I mean, I love the musicianship in Judas Priest and stuff. I think the guitars are fantastic there, but yeah, I need more than that. I need, the voice and lyrics and things. I mean, there's a few Metallica songs I've heard and they sound alright, but it would be just the commercial stuff that sounds catchy. But like nothing else matters. Don't really do anything for me. I don't care for it. I don't. Shit, some blokes just slipped over. Okay, yeah, there you go. We got some news report. Yeah, some guys just fucking slipped over. Poor cunt. He's alright. He looks like he's alright. Yeah, he slipped right over. I'm always slipping over here. There's something with the floors here. They make them extra shiny, so you end up slipping all the time. Fucking, I'll end up breaking my leg one day. Slipped over yesterday just leaving a shop. I tripped, but I kept tripping and I didn't fall. I'm good at falling. Whenever I fall, I've come off my bike once in England. I went right over the handlebars. Bicycle, not a motorbike, luckily. Or I wouldn't be here to tell the story. But yeah, I went right over the handlebars, but I'm really good at falling. It all goes slow motion. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but when I'm flying in the air, if I'm falling or whatever, it kind of goes slow motion. I end up falling right. I don't fall badly, luckily. So I've been lucky, because I am slipping a lot here. There's always something to slip on, or something you don't see, because in England they don't have the same things as they do here. Here they've got outside the shops they have this metal thing where the cars park. I guess it's to stop any cars driving into the shop, so they put a metal thing in the parking spaces, but you go to sort of walk out the door and then you get your foot caught in that and you end up going flying. I've done that. Yeah, so it's not good. It's yeah, there's always something to trip on, or yeah. And I used to go in the sea a lot more here as well, but there's a lot more sharks these days. I've been seeing a lot, and they're not that far from the shore. People have been doing drone footage of the beach, and there's sharks really aren't that far away from where the people go and the thing. And I just think, yeah, is it worth it? You might do it when you're on holiday now and again. And then I've seen not that long ago, there's those things washed up on the beach around here. What they called? They're really deadly, jellyfish type thing. What they called? Man of war. Portuguese man of war things. They washed up. That'd kill you if you touch that. And I just think, is it worth it? Because I live here now, it's I could be going in the sea all the time, but there is a lot of shit in there which will bite you or sting you. And it doesn't happen much, but I think that's because most people come here once every few years, and you're likely that nothing will happen, when you're just coming on a holiday and dipping in the water. But if you're here all the time like I am, I could be going in the sea every day, and I think, something's going to happen eventually if I keep going in it all the time. But holiday makers, you're not really going to have anything happen that often. But yeah, so I don't know. I play it safe at the beach these days. But I used to love swimming around and doing all this, but the problem is it's the bull sharks here you get, and they are really nasty. They're really ferocious things. They're smaller shark, but they're pretty nasty. And yeah, the man of war, they're real nasty. And I'm sure there's other stuff. I don't know if you get stonefish and stuff here, but you do get stingrays, little ones, and they're always just underneath the sand. You know, I'm sure if you stood on one of them, they'd sting you in the foot or whatever. I don't know how bad a stingray sting is. I know Steve Irwin was hit in the heart, that's why he died. But even if it's not in your heart, I'm sure it's pretty bad to get stung by one. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not mad on going in the sea all the time, you know. But I will now and again, you know. I like the islands. If I go to Isla Mujeres or Cozumel, I can do a bit of snorkeling there and stuff. It's not really snorkeling place here. You just float around and hope that nothing else is floating around with you, you know. But in the other places, you can kind of see. You can have your snorkel on, and it's clear waters and stuff. So it's sort of better for that. But that's the islands. You want to go to the islands really for that kind of stuff. Some of the beaches here, the sea is just mad. Massive waves. There was a guy actually died saving his friend, trying to save his friend, not that long ago, pretty recent. He swam out, I think, to try and save his friend who was in the sea, and he disappeared or whatever. And then, like 3 days later, he washed up. He was from where was he from? Somewhere in America, Michigan, I think. And yeah, he washed up 3 days later, and it was, well, thing with Mexico, nothing's censored, so you see everything. And yeah, people were sending it around on WhatsApp and stuff, the picture of him, you know, washed up on the beach. Yeah, I won't say too much graphic because it's pretty horrible. It was sad, but yeah. But basically, there wasn't much left of him apart from, well, I won't say it because it's nasty. But yeah, it was nasty to see. But anyway, yeah. So you got to be careful in these waters. They do take lives, you know. Yeah, Cancun is right on top of all that. Yeah, you got the Gulf of Mexico and all that. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's sea is pretty crazy over here. But a lot of the time it's nice. You can just float around. Right now it's seagasm, sargassum they call it, seaweed stuff everywhere. It's like it's multiplying crazy. I guess with the hot weather, 'cause it's peak summer at the moment. So all the beaches are full of it, and they're having to clean constantly. So nobody likes Cancun at the moment. People aren't coming that much. It's really empty. I was chatting with a tour guide earlier who said he ain't getting any business because it's so quiet at the moment. People aren't coming, you know. Although he said it's to do with Trump and all that stuff. He said people don't want to fly and different stuff. But I think it's probably because of all the stuff that's been going on, you know, all these planes going down and stuff. But I think it's all scaremongering. They obviously don't want people flying, and it's working, you know. They want people to stay where they are, where they're easily controlled, and control their bank accounts, get rid of cash, you know, control everything, you know. I don't think they want people flying anymore. They say it's all in the name of global warming or whatever, you know. Soon enough, they probably say you can only fly once a year or some shit like that, or less, you know. But yeah, I think they're definitely trying to push people not to fly and stuff. So yeah, Cancun's pretty empty actually compared to usual, which is weird. You've seen a lot of sharks, have you? Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos about it. I haven't actually seen any. I've swam with turtles and things, yeah, tortugas and stingrays and things, but I haven't seen a shark. I don't think I'd want to. You don't want them to see you. That's the thing. And they usually see you before you see them. But yeah, Florida's got a lot of stuff there, isn't it? Yeah. You got the Everglades there, haven't you? It's all alligators and stuff. There's a lot of crocodiles here, mind. It's full of crocodiles in the lagoon and stuff. People don't realise there's crocodiles here, but there is. Tons of crocodiles, you know. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get going in a sec. But if there's any final questions, send them in. But yeah, I'm going to book an Uber or something. I think I can't be bothered with the buses today. But yeah, and the funny thing, you get the crocs in the sea as well. There's loads of videos. Little pug there walking by. But there's loads of videos of crocodiles in the actual sea. So you don't know, you haven't got to just worry about sharks, but crocodiles. I think is where the lagoon meets the sea because it's all connected. But yeah, you get crocs on the beach a lot, like saltwater crocs. I guess they're saltwater crocs. They gotta be, unless they're just tolerating the salt water. But I don't think they'd survive. You know, got a lot of crocodiles live in like estuary type water. You know, I guess it would be the saltwater crocodiles. So yeah, there's crocodiles, sharks. You know, it's for me, like I say, living here, it's like, you know, I don't know if I want to keep getting in the sea. I love the sea, but it's like, you know, is it ever worth it? Sometimes, you know, I just chill out on the beach these days. There's too much shit out to get you. You know? Yeah. Anyway, that's my pumpkin spice latte finished. So yeah, good chatting with you, man. At least we got the same name. We won't forget about each other. But yeah, good to hear from you, man. I'll probably go live again. I'll do this a bit more when I remember. But yeah, good chat. Have a good day if it is daytime there. I think America's a bit earlier than here. So it's what time is it? It's 7:18 here, so I imagine it might be like 5 p.m. where you are, maybe. I'm not sure. Could be wrong there. But yeah, I'll go live again. I'm dropping a new song soon, so keep an eye on the channel. It's a cool one. It's kind of proper heavy metal track. 8:20 is it? Oh, so you're ahead of me. Cool. Yeah, I know Mexico City is different time zone as well. It all gets confusing. But yeah, look out for my new song. I think it's going to be called Whiplash. And it's done with my collaborator. I work with a lot on the King of Hearts, my song, probably my best song, the King of Hearts. Same guitar player, he's a really good metal guitarist, so yeah, he did a good job on this song, Whiplash. I haven't released it yet. I'm going to try and get a special guest on it or something, but if that doesn't work out, I'll just put it out as it is, you know. So it'll be available soon. I'll probably stick it up on YouTube and it'll be on Spotify and all that stuff, iTunes, whatever. But yeah, it's a proper heavy metal track. It's a bit like Motorhead type of vibe. Yeah, a bit like Motorhead. There's Motorhead elements to it, and a bit like Judas Priest, or Halford, kind of bit like his Halford stuff he did, and a bit like Motorhead. So it's interesting. In fact, I was thinking then Ozzy Osbourne. I should have put him in my top 3 vocalists. I think he would be in there because he has got a damn good voice, a very good range, and unique. There's no one like Ozzy, so that guy I'm sure has left a long time ago who asked me that question, but I'm going to give Rob number 1, number 2, yeah, I'll forget about Alice Cooper, and we'll do number 1 Rob, number 2 Ozzy, number 3 Dio. There you go, that's my top 3. I don't know why I couldn't think of that earlier, but there you go. Yeah, I hope I can book this Uber now. I don't use Uber very often. I'm new to it, so I got to make sure I get all the addresses right and stuff. It's a bit different, you know. But I just can't be bothered messing about with the buses. You know. Gonna get and make that curry I was on about. Thai curry should be nice. I got to defrost some chickens. I don't know how long that's going to take. Probably 3 or 4 hours till I can actually start cooking it. It's 7:20 now, so it'll be about midnight by the time I start cooking, but that's alright. Why not? But yeah, Ozzy is great. I love Ozzy. I've been doing some Ozzy tributes here in Cancun recently, and that was good. But it's not my typical stuff to sing, you know. I've never professed to be able to sing Ozzy or like Ozzy, you know, so I've done it because I was asked to do it, and people kind of know I'm a metal vocalist now in Cancun. It's good, I'm getting some notoriety or whatever, but they never get me to sing the shit I want to be singing, like Judas Priest or whatever, you know. It's always something else, you know. And it's like, oh, I mean, I love to sing Aussie and stuff, but it's not the easiest stuff. It's not like, it's not exactly. Nobody can sing like Aussie, you know. So to me, I'm gonna like, why bother trying, you know? But I do it because I'm getting paid. But you know, I don't. I'd much rather sing some stuff I know I can sing. But I enjoy it. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to do some Aussie tributes, and we did some Dio as well, and some Rainbow, and we did Marilyn Manson. That was fun, although my voice wasn't that great that day, so it blew my voice out trying to sing Manson and Aussie in one gig. You know, it's quite contrasting vocals. But you know, I'm glad to be offered these things. There's a few good rock bars and things in Cancun, and bands that, you know, I'm collaborating with to just do some tributes. That's what we're trying to do, some tributes pretty often, you know. But yeah, I did some Manson. I can usually sing Manson alright, you know, but this gig was weird. It was kind of I think the sound was bad, and I had to like push my voice harder than I should have, and then I ended up sort of wrecking my voice on the first couple of songs because I didn't have any say on the order of songs or anything like that, so I couldn't. It was pretty tough, you know. They gave me tough songs and no build up to it. Singing live is a whole thing, you know. You've got to kind of work out everything, you know, and build up to the big songs. But yeah, I ended up blowing out my song on blowing out my voice on Marilyn Manson's Fight song, because I had to just sing it in full voice, and like, yeah, it kind of was tough with Ozzy. It was Ozzy and Manson, that tribute, and yeah, I don't know, it's the sound wasn't that great, so I was pushing my voice to be louder and like so I could hear, and yeah, I don't know. I don't always enjoy performing, you know. I like recording songs and stuff like that. And I do enjoy performing, but it's got to be the right gig and the right audience and the right everything, really, for me to really be enjoying it. Sometimes it's a bit of a stress, you know. But yeah, I don't mind singing Aussie now because I got to know the songs a bit more, you know, easier to sing now than it was. I mean, I always knew Aussie, but I didn't ever try and sing it. There's one thing knowing the songs, and another thing getting them perfect with a band, you know, it's a whole different story. You know, we only rehearse once. I don't think anyone likes rehearsing. I don't, so I don't complain about it. But we only rehearse once, and then we do a gig. So we practice at home, get together once, and then we do the gig. That's what we've done on this past couple of gigs. But yeah, I think Judas Priest, it'd be much better if I was just singing Judas Priest, tribute to Priest. There was talk of an AC/DC and Scorpions tribute they wanted me to do, but again, there's 20 songs I gotta learn. I don't listen to much Scorpions, and I like AC/DC, but again, playing it all with a band and having to work out all the timings and that, and I'd rather just stick with what we've learned. You know, we've learned like 30 or 40 songs recently, you know. I think just keep trying to get that, or do a Judas Priest tribute. I don't want to keep learning stuff. I probably should, but I just can't be bothered. It takes so much time and listening all day, you know. Kind of got to listen all day to kind of get the songs in your head, you know. And then you got to hope the rehearsal everyone's in tune with each other, like they know what they're doing, and they're doing the same as what you think, because I have to make notes on the lyrics about every little thing that they're going to do, like guitar solo or just little break, and you got to hope they do the break as long as you think they're going to do it. It's just a lot of work, so yeah, it's the memorizing. I mean, I always have the lyrics there because there's no way I can memorize lyrics. I just haven't got the brain for it. But even then, it's difficult. It's all about the timing with the band, you know. It's like, I know I can't make mistakes, so I don't, you know. But yeah, it is tough. Way tougher than I thought. I've never been into performing with bands, you know. It's never been my thing, really, bands, but I've ended up having to do it. Hola! How you doing? Saying hola. Don't know where they've come from. Look like a tourist to me. But yeah, it is rough. It's it should be more fun than it is. But I'm happy with the gigs, you know. I think the more I do it, the more relaxed it get. But at the moment, it's ever changing, you know. Yeah, I'm learning some Spanish. I do know a lot of Spanish words, you know, but I don't know the full sentences, you know. I know, you know, all the foods and that. Camarón, shrimp or prawn. Hamburguesa, if you want a burger. Cigarro, if you want a cigarette. Res is beef. Puerco, pork. Pollo, chicken. Camarón, I said that. Pescado for fish. Um, Baño for toilet. I know all the key words, but I just don't know all the stuff that goes in between, and it's a weird language. Again, I can't even memorize lyrics these days, let alone language, you know. But my wife's Mexican, so you know she helps me a bit. But she speaks English, luckily, so we're speaking English all the time. You know. But anyway, I'm gonna try and book my Uber now. Hopefully, I'll be able to. I don't know what the price is gonna be. The buses might not be as busy now, but I'll have to wait and see. I can see one go by to check. It does look like it wouldn't be busy now, but you never know. All the workers work in the hotels and they're just packed all the time, you know. That's the problem. All the workers sort of finish different times, and they pack the buses out. There's like hundreds of hotels, so you can imagine if they finish at the same time, then it's packed. But the good thing is there's buses every like 2 minutes or so here. Very often. You know, they're always coming, but they're always packed, you know. So that tells you how busy it is down there. So there's loads of buses there now, but I can't see how packed they are. Yeah, that one didn't look too busy. But they're busy enough. But anyway, good chatting, man. Yeah, all the seats are taken. There's no one stood up by the looks of it, but all the seats are taken. So yeah, I'm gonna try this Uber thing. See you later. Bye. Good to chat. I'll do a live stream again sometime. But yeah, check out my for new songs. I got a playlist as well. If you go on the homepage of my YouTube, I got all my music videos there and my rock interviews and stuff. I put all the good stuff like on the homepage, you know. So yeah, that new song, whenever it does drop, it will be with you soon. Cheers. See you soon. Metal Matt signing off. See you later. Bye. Cheers.